I mean, silver has never been this cheap in the history of silver. I think silver has got a lot of upside to catch up. So if you think, hey, I was looking at gold when it was 2,000 and shit, I should have bought it. Now it's 3,000. Well, silver is the same price now as it was when gold was at 2,000. We've been selling gold at Schiff Gold. I started about 15 years ago. And so when people were buying it initially, I don't know, it was maybe $400, $500 an ounce. And here it is, 3,200 an ounce. It's hard to believe, too, that people have actually done better just buying gold than buying the S&P 500. And gold doesn't do anything. Gold just sits there. Yet all these income generating companies, even with the income, haven't managed to beat just a precious metal, just sitting there doing nothing. So it really shows you what's been going on in the economy. The stock market has gone up in price, but so has everything. And the reason that everything goes up in price is because they create so much inflation. They destroy the value of our money. And that's what gold is telling you. The dollars we have today are not worth the dollars we had yesterday or 10 years ago or 20 years ago. And I think more significantly, the dollars that you're going to have in the future, if you're foolish enough to hold on to them, are going to be worth substantially less than they are now. So you're going to need a lot more dollars to buy an ounce of gold. And you're going to need a lot more dollars to buy an ounce of anything because the dollar is going to lose the vast majority of its purchasing power. Well, I think we've just had one, right? Because we almost got to 3,500 and now we're barely above 3,200. So we had over a $300 drop. That's about a 10% decline, right? From the peak. That's a pretty good dip. So I think that if you were waiting for a dip, you got your dip. So at this point, there's nothing to wait for. So I think 3,200 is a very good price for gold. It's not going much lower than that. And gold has been rising for many, many years. When this century started, January 1st, 2001, gold was under $300. So it's gone up 11x. Well, since then, it's gone up more than the stock market over that time period. Even if you count the dividends, the stock market hasn't kept pace with gold over that time span. But, if you go back to the beginning of the Federal Reserve in 1913, you could buy an ounce of gold for $20. And so gold's gone from 20 to 3,200. Now, gold really hasn't gone anywhere. The ounce of gold you buy today is the same ounce of gold that somebody bought in 1913, right? It hasn't changed, right? It's not like, other things are different, right? The quality gets better, technology, right? So a lot of the stuff we buy today is different than stuff that was bought 100 years ago. But gold is exactly the same. Gold has not changed. And so it's not really that gold is a lot more expensive than it was, or 100 times more expensive than it was 100 years ago. The dollar is 99% less valuable than it was 100 years ago. So you need 100 times the number of dollars today to buy the ounce of gold that you could buy for $1, right? Because of how much purchasing power the dollar has lost. And I think the dollar is going to lose purchasing power at an accelerating rate in the foreseeable future. So that means you're going to need more and more dollars. You're going to need $5,000 to buy an ounce of gold. You're going to need $10,000 to buy an ounce of gold. The gold isn't changing. It's exactly the same. It's the dollar. So I think the sooner that you can convert your fake money into real money, the more of your purchasing power you're going to preserve. So yeah, people should absolutely buy gold at this level at 3,200. My company is Schiff Gold. Don't wait. As soon as you listen to this, if you don't have any gold, or even if you do, you want to go to Schiff Gold and buy some. And we don't sell, numismatics or collectibles. We're going to get you a great price on bullion. But if you want to get a really good bargain, buy silver too, because silver is only about $32 an ounce. You can get 100 ounces of silver with 1 ounce of gold. I mean, silver has never been this cheap in the history of silver. I think silver has got a lot of upside to catch up. So if you think, hey, I was looking at gold when it was 2,000 and shit, I should have bought it. Now it's 3,000. Well, silver is the same price now as it was when gold was at 2000. So just buy some silver. We sell Schiff Gold. We sell silver at Schiff Gold too, even though it's not part of the name. And we've been selling more silver recently. I've been really, telling people to buy silver. But you should buy both. But I think you should definitely buy silver too. Don't just buy gold, because I think you'll do better in silver right now. Two, if you really want to make money off of this gold run, you could buy the gold and silver mining companies. We have separately managed accounts at Euro Pacific Asset Management. Many of them focus in on the gold mining sector. We also run a mutual fund, the Euro Pacific Gold Fund. You could buy that fund no load. Any discount broker, EPGIX is the symbol. But because Wall Street doesn't understand gold, they have no idea why it's rising, and they expect it to fall. They haven't bid up the price of the gold mining stocks because they don't have any idea how much money these companies are going to be earning in the future, because they just feel the price of gold is going to go down because they don't understand why it went up in the first place. But they've got a lot of stuff wrong on Wall Street, and gold is one of them. But that creates the opportunity. Just like, they were buying the subprime mortgages that I was shorting because they didn't understand the mortgage market. Well, they don't understand gold market either. They don't understand money. They don't understand inflation. They don't understand what the Fed's been doing. And so they've mispriced gold stocks just like they mispriced subprime mortgages. And the opportunity is created by the market mispricing something. In the case of the mortgages, the market got the price too high. In the case of gold stocks, they got the price too low. And so the way you benefit from that is you buy these stocks now while the price is still so low. Well, look, I have no interest in a stable coin backed by the dollar. I got plenty of ways to use dollars. It's very easy for me to spend dollars. I don't need a US dollar stable coin. I think the main people who want these stable coins want them to trade other tokens. They want to trade Bitcoin, and they want to, pair it with a US dollar stable coin. But I don't trade the cryptocurrency market, so I don't really have any use for a US dollar stable coin. I think Trump is behind the crypto industry because the crypto industry got behind Trump. I think they basically bought, his help, and they bought off a lot of other politicians like that Cynthia Noonan in the US Senate. Right? They've given a lot of money to politicians to hype up their tokens and including Bitcoin. So I think the whole thing, as you know, is just a fraud. I don't think Bitcoin has any real value. I don't think it's money. I don't think it's digital gold. I just think it's a pyramid. It's a Ponzi scheme, chain letter, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, people have made a lot of money, just like people make a lot of money who perpetuate all kinds of frauds. You get in a fraud early, you make a lot of money, but it's always at the expense of the people who get in late and lose a lot of money. And a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money in Bitcoin and all these other coins. And I hope that, it's not the U.S. taxpayer that ends up losing money. Hopefully the U.S. government never actually buys any of this crap, or state governments or anybody actually, takes taxpayer money and uses it to bail out, crypto millionaires by buying their worthless tokens with other people's money.